I once helped a buyer get £22,000 off the asking price of a property. Same house, same seller, same market. The only difference was how they made the offer. Today I am going to teach you exactly how they did it. Welcome back to From Zero to Keys on Marcus Lane Real Estate. I am Marcus Lane, and every single day I upload a brand new episode walking you step by step from the very beginning all the way to the moment those keys land in your hand. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because this series is completely free and what I am sharing in the next 5 minutes has saved my clients hundreds of thousands of pounds combined over 30 years in this industry. In episode 6 we talked about finding the right property, what to look for at viewings and the red flags that most buyers walk straight past. If you have not watched that yet, go back and watch it, because everything in this episode builds on it. Today in episode 7 we are talking about making an offer. Not just putting a number forward and hoping for the best. I mean the exact strategy, the exact words, the exact positioning that gets your offer accepted, often for less than the asking price, even in a competitive market. Let us get into it. First, let me destroy the biggest myth about making an offer. Most first-time buyers believe the asking price is the price. They see £280,000 on Rightmove and they think that is what it costs. It is not. The asking price is the opening position in a negotiation. Nothing more. Every single property on the market has a price the vendor will actually accept, and in the majority of cases that number is lower than what is advertised. Your job is to find it without overpaying and without losing the property in the process. So how do you do that? Step 1. Do your research before you offer a single penny. Go on Rightmove and look up sold prices in the same street and same postcode. Rightmove shows you exactly what properties have actually sold for, not what they were listed at. What did the last 3 comparable properties on that street actually sell for? Were they above or below asking price? How long did they sit on the market before selling? A property that has been listed for 90 days is a completely different negotiation to one that went live 48 hours ago. Also check how many times the asking price has been reduced. A property that started at £300,000, dropped to £285,000 and is now sitting at £275,000 is telling you something very important. The vendor is motivated. They have already moved once. They will move again. All of this information is freely available. All of it gives you power at the negotiating table. Use it. Step 2. Understand what the vendor actually wants. This is where most buyers completely fall apart. They think negotiation is purely about money. It is not. Vendors have emotional needs as well as financial ones. And the buyer who understands those needs almost always wins, even when they are not the highest offer on the table. Ask the estate agent these exact questions before you make your offer. What is the vendor's ideal timeline for completion? Do they have a property to move into, or are they still searching? Are there any other offers on the table? How long have they lived there? A vendor who has already found the next home wants to move fast. If you can offer a quick completion, because you have your decision in principle ready, your solicitor already instructed and your deposit sitting in your account, that speed is worth thousands of pounds to them. I have seen buyers with lower offers beat higher ones simply because they could move faster. Speed is currency in a property transaction. A vendor who is still searching for the next home wants flexibility. Offer them a longer completion window, tell them you are happy to work around their timeline, and suddenly you are not just another buyer, you are the easy buyer. And easy buyers get chosen. Step 3. Make your offer the most attractive one on the table, not just the highest. When you are ready to make your offer, do not just call the agent and throw a number at them. Position yourself properly. Tell the agent you have your decision in principle in place. Tell them your solicitor is already instructed and ready to go. Tell them your deposit is accessible and confirmed. Tell them you are a chain-free first-time buyer with no property to sell. Every single one of these facts removes risk from the transaction for the vendor. And vendors do not just want the most money, they want the most certainty. In property, certainty is everything. A sale that falls through costs a vendor months of time, stress and money. You being prepared, organized and chain-free is genuinely worth thousands of pounds in a negotiation even before you say a number. Now on the number itself. I always recommend starting between 5 and 10% below asking price on your first offer. Not because you expect it to be accepted, though sometimes it is, but because it anchors the negotiation below the asking price and gives you room to move up without ever reaching it. If the asking price is £280,000, your opening offer is £258,000 to £266,000. The vendor rejects it. You come back at £272,000. They counter at £278,000. You settle at £275,000. You just saved £5,000 and the vendor feels like they negotiated well. Everybody wins. Never make your first offer your best offer. Always leave yourself room. Step 4. Know when to walk away. This is the hardest lesson in property and the most important one. Sometimes a vendor is unrealistic. Sometimes a property is overpriced and no amount of negotiation will get it to where it should be. Sometimes another buyer will pay more than a property is worth and there is nothing you can do about it. Walking away is not failure. Walking away from the wrong property at the wrong price is one of the smartest financial decisions you will ever make. The right property at the right price is out there. Stay disciplined. Stay patient. The buyers who win in this market are not the ones who pay whatever it takes, they are the ones who know their number and never go past it. Here is your homework before episode 8 tomorrow. For every property you are seriously considering right now, look up the sold prices on that street on Rightmove. Write down how long it has been listed and whether the price has been reduced. Call the estate agent and ask what the vendor's ideal timeline is. And make sure your decision in principle is in place and your solicitor is already identified so that when you are ready to offer you can position yourself as the most prepared buyer they have ever spoken to. Because in episode 8 we are going deep into the mortgage application itself. What happens, what they ask for, what documents you need, and the mistakes that cause applications to get delayed or rejected at the very last minute. I am Marcus Lane. This is From Zero to Keys on Marcus Lane Real Estate. Subscribe, hit that notification bell and I will see you tomorrow in episode 8. You said, now write to highly center friendly, ad friendly, SEO optimized titles, description without timestamps, and tags with commas, 400 words, and also a thumbnail prom, now.